Okay students, now we are going to discuss Unit 3. In Unit 3, record the flow of cost, flow of material, labor and overhead through a process costing system. किस तरह flow करता है material, labor और overhead in process costing system, right? Okay, the general flow. Input phase, direct material, labor, overhead, right? Put into production mean we incur all the cost in the production department, right? Production, WIP, that is our production department. Okay, then it moves towards the finished goods, mean it is completed, 100% completed. Then we transfer it to finished goods department, and then it's transferred to cost of goods sold when it's sold, right? So we have three phases. One is input phase, one is process phase, and third one is output phase. In an input phase, we take direct material, direct labor and manufacturing overhead. And in general discussion in chapter 1, we have discussed in detail how to calculate the direct material, how to calculate the direct labor, and what are the manufacturing overheads, right? But here I am again repeating how to calculate the direct material, raw material beginning plus purchases minus raw material at end is equal to raw material used in production, right? So we are taking this direct material which are used in production. Okay, next is direct labor. What is the liability incurred or direct liability incurred in the production department, or the direct labor incurred, right? So we will take the direct labor, only direct labor, not the indirect labor. Okay, manufacturing overheads are so many manufacturing overheads. There are number of manufacturing overheads, so we need to calculate this manufacturing overheads in total. So these three are the comes under the input phase, right? Or we can say these are the inputs. When it's combined together and put into the production, then we produce the product. But this department is the work in process, right, where we done our work, right? And then it moves towards the finished goods. Finished goods is what? Finished goods where you store your product, right? Or that is the output, and then it transfer to the customer, means sold out, cost of goods sold, right? So first we will take the input phase, then process phase and the output phase, right? This is our general flow, right? The flow of material, labor and overhead, right? And we know very well about T account, how to prepare T account of direct material, labor and overhead, and WIP, work in process, and finished goods. In work in process, we calculate the cost of goods manufactured, and in finished goods we calculate the cost of goods sold, right? This is the general flow, right? So now we want to move towards the another flow, that is on job order costing, right? The flow of cost in a job order costing system. Again, here we can see here the direct material, direct labor and the manufacturing overhead all are same in general flow, where we have seen the direct material incurred and how direct material is calculated. Raw material beginning plus purchases minus raw material inventory at end. So we calculate the raw material used in production. After raw material used in production, we incur the direct labor. Direct labor, what is direct labor? We know that the labor that is directly associated with the product. Okay, then third one is the manufacturing overhead. Again, the factory overheads. There are number of confusion to the students about what is included in the manufacturing overhead. All factory related item, right? All factory related item are the part of the manufacturing overhead. You can say the depreciation of factory, the depreciation of factory equipment, the insurance of building, factory building, or indirect labor, indirect material, and number of things, right? Supplies, factory supplies, right? Or maintenance. So these all are the manufacturing overheads, right? Or you can see that all are the indirect costs, right? So all are the indirect costs, not the part or not the directly associated with the product, but it part of manufacturing, right? So we take as an manufacturing overhead. This is very important topic, right? So we need to understand that. So direct material, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead, again these are the our input phase, and these apply to particular job, right? Here we are not using the WIP, we are right here the job, particular job. And how to calculate the job, I have already told you. We calculate the job through job cost sheet, right? Costs are traced and applied to individual job in a job order cost system. In job order cost system, we have different number of jobs, right? And we have different requirement of that job. So different direct material, direct labor, and manufacturing overheads are incurred on that job, right? So costs are traced and applied to individual job in a job cost sheet. And how we calculate these jobs? Through job cost sheet. I have already told you before, the job cost sheet, or in job cost sheet we saw we calculate or we accumulate the job of different particular jobs, right? We accumulate the cost of different jobs, right? Particular job, like if I have one order or a special order, that is order name is K500. So this K500 is my job, and the direct material, labor, and overhead incurred on that job is my particular cost, right? Total cost of that job. Okay, now then it transferred to finished goods again, and then cost of goods sold, and then sold to customer, right? These all are in the job costing system. This is the flow of cost in a job cost system, right? Now the third one is the flow of cost in a process cost system. Here is the department, that is processing department, right? First we want to know about the processing department in a process costing, right? So first is the processing department, is that unit in an organization where material, labor, overhead are added to the product. Processing department are the department where you, or it is the unit of an organization where material, labor, and overhead are added to the product. The activities performed in a processing department are performed uniformly on all unit of production, because we have discussed in detail in similarities or in differences that we have a similar nature of product, right? Like toothpaste, like soap, like shampoo, these all are the similar products, right? Like chips, packet of chips, like different medicines, right? So these all are similar in nature, right? So on unit of production, further the output of a processing department must be homogeneous, right? So we have discussed about the this is the homogeneous product in a process costing environment typically flow in a sequence from one department to another. This is a very important point. We will calculate the cost department wise, right? Or we can say we can calculate the cost by department, right? Okay, now we can see the flow of cost, right? Again I am showing you this flow, the flow of cost in a process cost system. Okay, again material, labor, and manufacturing overhead costs are incurred, right? As same in the general flow we seen, as same as the as same as in job order costing, right? We seen. So in process costing, we will consider the cost are traced and applied to department in a process cost system, right? So here we have the processing department. It could be a one department, or it is a it is more than one department, right? So we calculate the cost by department, right? So we accumulate the cost, remember here we accumulate the cost by departments. And again the direct material same happens. Previously we have discussed the how to calculate direct material used in production. Direct material, raw material beginning plus purchases minus raw material at hand is equal to raw material used in production. Direct labor, again direct labor incurred in production. Manufacturing overhead, again all manufacturing overhead cost, right, that is applied to production. Here we will calculate, or we will take applied manufacturing cost, right, not the actual. And we have discussed in job order costing in detail about the applied and actual manufacturing overhead, right? So we have applied manufacturing overhead in the department, right? So these are my department. This is my processing department. Again material, labor, overhead were incurred, and the cost is accumulate or trace to department in a process costing system. Okay, this is my finished goods. If the product is produced 100% produced, right? I'm not saying that it is a 99.9% complete, no, 100%, right? If the product is 100% complete, then it would be transferred to the finished good. Otherwise won't be able to transfer to finished goods, right? Then it will be sold to customer. So cost of goods sold. So this is the general flow of the cost of process costing system. The general flow of cost in a process costing system.